Hello, Cryptonauts, and welcome back to another episode of Cryptocurrency Chat. I am your host, Blockchain John, along with my co-host, Jake Jabrelli, and Cryptonaut Mike. How's it going, you guys?
Pretty good.
Really good.
All right, so for the Cryptonauts out there, we are here once again to bring you the top 10 daily stats and some original crypto news. So with that said, let's get started with the first article here. Let me switch over. Here we go. CoinGecko. With Bitcoin in number one, of course, settling at $41,279.53 with a 7-day gain of 20.4%. Second place, we have Ethereum settling at $2,657.54 with a 7-day gain of 21.7%. Tether, of course, is actually settling at 99 cents with a 7-day loss of 0.2%. Binance Coin number 4 settling at $341.49 with a 13.3% gain. And fifth place, Cardano settling at $1.35 with a 9.6% gain in the past 7 days. Okay, let's see. Number 6, XRP settling at 75 cents with a 7-day gain of 24.4%. And number 7, USD Coin settling at 99 cents with a 7-day loss of 0.3%. Number 8, Dogecoin settling at 20 cents with a 7-day gain of 5%. Number 9, Polkadot settling at $19.34 with a whopping 7-day gain of 39.7%. Number 10, Binance USD settling at 99 cents with a 7-day loss of 0.7%. Alright, Cryptonauts, that is your top 10 daily stats. Your overall total market cap is at $1.715 trillion, up by 2.7%. Love it, love it, love it. I like when the market goes up like that. Alright.
Make sure to get your candies.
What was that?
Make sure you get your candies.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Coin
collect
Gecko.
your candies. That's right, collect your candies. Go up here, you make sure you sign in, collect your candies. Did I collect my candies today? Yeah, I did. I did. Today. Earlier today. Okay, so this is my first time writing a news article, and it is published on Reddit, so make sure you check us out in Reddit. So here's my first article. It is called Happy Birthday Ethereum, published by me, written by me. Okay, happy birthday Ethereum. On July 30th, 2015, Ethereum mainnet was launched as an ICO. At the time, you could buy 1 ETH for 30 cents. Unbelievable, right? I was well into crypto at the time and was ready to get into Ethereum after reading the Ethereum white paper. But before I ever considered Ethereum, I saw a young man that was continuously being highlighted in the crypto space. His name was Vitalik Buterin, or Vitalik, as most would call him. At the time, he was a young 21-year-old with a nerdy passion to spread Ethereum knowledge to everyone he could. Vitalik was already well into crypto as he was a co-founder of the Bitcoin magazine in 2011. In 2014, Vitalik launched Ethereum in beta with co-founder Gavin Wood. I remember those early days in 2014 when I would study Vitalik's word as he went on to many conventions at the time to educate everyone about the Ethereum virtual machine, EVM, and proof of stake, POS. At the time, POS was a new concept, and no one really understood truly what Ethereum was considering to start, and still remains as proof of work to this day. As time went on, and developers started grinding out code, it became obvious that many people would really enjoy working on Ethereum. This might be because Solidity is a simple code to work with. Many people were quickly pushing out new projects. One of the most famous projects in the early days of Ethereum was the Decentralized Autonomous Organization, the DAO. The DAO at the time was revolutionary as this organization has no board of directors or conventional management like traditional organizations would be set up. The DAO was crowdfunded through an ICO in May 2016. Unfortunately, there was an exploit in the DAO code and the funds were siphoned off into another account by the hacker. This would have vaporized Ethereum's vision for sure if it wasn't for Vitalik's strategic input on forking the Ethereum main chain. Forking Ethereum came at a cost that did hurt Ethereum at the beginning because it caused a massive outcry from the Ethereum community. This resulted in the forking of Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. To this day, both chains exist, but Classic will always have the DAO hack in its ledger. Vitalik made the decision to reverse transactions prior to the DAO attack. This action infuriated the community because no one should have the ability to reverse transactions on a true decentralized network. Shortly after the attack, thousands of ICOs appeared on the network. Most of the ICOs were just money grabs and scams. Very few projects came out to being legit and making a solid foundation out of it. Sadly enough, it wasn't the end. The Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, appeared out of nowhere with Thor's mighty hammer and fined everyone that did an ICO, as they were all considered a security in the eyes of the SEC. The few projects that remained are thriving on the Ethereum main chain or have created their own chain and expanded their services. London Fork was integrated in the London code was integrated into Ethereum's main chain and will be fully activated on August 4th. London will have two Ethereum improvement proposals. EIP 1559 is the first and will introduce a new fee structure to make Ethereum less inflationary. This protocol change is highly controversial because it aims to burn part of the fees, hence decreasing the miners' revenue. EIP 3554 is the second EIP and will create a difficulty bomb in the Ethereum POS main chain. This will make it extremely difficult for miners to mine any ETH. The goal behind the London fork is to prevent any forking and to migrate the community to POS. EIP 3554 is set to activate on December 1st. Until then, miners can enjoy a little more ETH, but after that date, one hopes these miners can become stakers to help support and decentralize the EVM POS to all-time highs. With that said, happy birthday Ethereum. I will be watching the market cap for the flippening. Adios. All right, that is my first article. Hopefully you enjoyed. All right, now, Jake, on to you.
Yep. So, I'm going to be hitting on a similar concept here with V1559, but mostly had to do with how the London hard fork will be making some tokens worthless. Now, I will be basically reading the content from Jeff Benson's article that came in yesterday, but with my commentary. So, in the run-up to the London hard fork, the Ethereum upgrade slated for the early hours of August 5th, aka within the network. A contentious code change that will burn transaction fees, taking some of the ETH out of circulation. But those aren't the only tokens that London upgrade will basically be getting rid of. Gas tokens such as the GST2 and the CHI, also used by developers to secure lower prices when developing smart contracts, will also be obsolete. The London proposal comprises 5 separate Ethereum improvement proposals, changes to the network that will be submitted. So, as discussed by developers and other stakeholders and integrators. So basically, the thing that's a problem with this is that, and this is the discussion, I'm not trying to harp on Dynamo Coin, but one of the things that you struggle to see in Ethereum and Bitcoin is, even though they are technically decentralized, they're still somewhat centralized on the fact that they have this kind of network of people who can make decisions. Kind of the way that Hedera Hashgraph is trying to take that away by giving it the permission to 40 different groups. That way it was no one centralized group that could make all the decisions. As Tim Bako, a core developer with Ethereum Foundation, explained at the Daily Decrypt podcast this month, quote, how Ethereum works today is if you store data on Ethereum, when you remove that data from the network, you get a small gas refund back to kind of incentivize the people to clean up after themselves, end quote. In essence, there are smart contracts code that automates transactions for things like NFT purchase and asset swaps that are no longer needed after a certain point. Kind of how an aluminum can is no longer necessary after the soda's been drunk out of it. Clean up and destroy, and you get a small refund of the gas. Or generally speaking, that transaction costs are now paid for. That's the paid for method. Now, EIP 3529 does away with the refunds, and that is what the miners are getting pissed at. According to Bako, while the idea of the refunds was good in theory, it was more commonly used by developers to take advantage of low gas fees on the network, which corresponds to the times where the network fee is being used less to fill in the basically junk data. They then get their refunds when gas fees were returned to higher levels. Gas tokens first floated years ago to facilitate this process, working as the mechanism of banking storage at low prices and releasing it at high prices, according to the project. By using these tokens, you can effectively pay less to just deploy smart contracts. So gas token 2, which is DS2, is one of the tokens that will become obsolete. It was just trading today for about $200 on the current crypto marketplace. And as recently as April, EIP 3529 was added to London, making just above $600. So I think part of my commentary on this is obviously that some of these tokens are going away. They weren't really highly used tokens in the first place, but my other point is with EIP 1559, it's going to reduce the amount of money that an Ethereum miner gets even more than it already is. And of course, this is the encouragement to go toward the proof of stake, as Johnny mentioned earlier, getting us completely off of proof of work. But there was, I think, I can't remember if it was 3664, I think. I'd have to look it up exactly. That was made by a very large miner in the northwestern United States to try to stagger the decrease of the Ethereum token down to almost nothing, so that people have an easier time getting away from it. It's not a terrible purpose to which the Ethereum token is or Ethereum itself is trying to get away from proof of work. But the problem is if you drop everything off really quickly, then a lot of people will just switch away from Ethereum and you'll lose a lot of your network. So the end goal of Ethereum switching away to proof of stake from proof of work was to reduce its carbon footprint on the world, which is a noble cause. I don't think the Ethereum creators, Vitalik, or anyone else had ever really thought, how much power would ultimately be used by this. But when you know you're going to get paid for doing something with hardware, people get on board. And so the immediate drop, or the expected immediate drop once these proposals go through, would potentially hurt Ethereum, although, I mean, from a more realistic standpoint, that probably isn't going to happen. But it has the potential for hurting the network, and that may mean that there's the possibility of a 51% attack. So Ethereum is changing. The London hard fork is changing. In general, the second largest coin in the world is trying to get away from causing the world to be hotter by mining and using up a lot of electricity. I think that's a noble cause. I think it's noble that they're trying to get away from that. I think that that Ethereum itself has created an industry that is now trying to terminate itself. So, fortunately, we have other alternatives. Conflux, Ravencoin, DynamoCoin. People can move other places. But when you come to kind of depend on one thing, it's hard to then just pivot. So hopefully all miners, myself included, will be able to pivot away from Ethereum in the next 6 months. That's all I got to say about that. And I guess it's up to Mike now.
All right. So, Mike, there you go. Are you ready? If not, I can definitely talk about some other things that we got going on.
Yeah. So there's a Decrypt news article by Eric Denk talking about how founder of an NFT game lost 16 CryptoPunks and a bunch of ETH due to a scammer. So, just definitely be diligent. An NFT project founder of NFT video game lost 16 CryptoPunks. That is pretty much it. Yeah.
All right, cool. So, with that said, let's go ahead and go over to Anchor real quick and talk about our referral links, because we do have a bunch of referral links that I definitely want to plug in on today's episode. we do have, obviously, I want you guys to go to Discord and YouTube, obviously. Subscribe, like, leave a comment. We greatly appreciate that. We do have the Celsius Network referral link, which is one of the best wallets you can have out there. Coinbase is another great one to get started. I really like that. It's easy to onboard into crypto. If you don't know anything about crypto, Coinbase is one of the easiest ones. Then you have some more sophisticated exchanges. Well, I guess Gemini is another easy one, right? Yeah, we can use Gemini. Cash App, I love Cash App because, you know, if you when you buy crypto on Cash or Bitcoin on Cash App, you literally can withdraw it instantaneously right there. You don't have to wait the 5 to 7 days or 10 days, or how long they're expanding it now, 15, 20, 30 days to get your crypto out. When you get on Cash App, you get it immediately. Another one is Binance. Binance has a ton of different crypto on there, and that's why I recommend it. Then you got Probit that deals with the smaller cryptos out there, so those are awesome. Then if you want to get into mining, I think one of the easiest miners for people to onboard with is NiceHash, unless you guys have something else. Jake, Mike?
Yeah, anything but NiceHash.
Anything but NiceHash? Okay.
Yeah, I used to use NiceHash for a long period of time, but yeah, I'm not particularly fond of them, even though they are one of the largest mining communities.
So which one would you recommend?
It depends on the coin.
Yeah, it really does depend on the coin. I mean, there's lots of opportunities, but I've been using HiveOS forever.
HiveOS.
To mine.
HiveOS is definitely a good one.
All right, HiveOS. So we'll update that. All right. So with that said, Cryptonauts, make sure you stack sets and HODL. Adios.